I'm Jordan, and this is Listen Lucy. Keep it well.
It's so strange because people with anxiety typically don't like to public speak, but I'm all about it. You know, I'm telling my experiences.
My name is Jordan Corcoran. I am the creator of Listen Lucy. I started Listen Lucy about 2 years ago, and it's an awesome online outlet for people to tell their stories. When I was a freshman in college, I was diagnosed with 2 mental disorders, generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder. Writing, sitting down and taking the time when my head was on straight and explaining myself uninterrupted proved to be so cathartic and so healing for me, which I really needed at a time where I didn't know what was going on with me. I actually wrote in the college newspaper. I decided to write my story about having anxiety disorders, and the feedback that I got for that piece was unbelievable. They just thought it was cool that I was telling my story, and I think that's when the idea of Listen Lucy, that's how my story ties into Listen Lucy. The original goal of Listen Lucy was, and it will always be the goal of Listen Lucy, is to create a less judgmental and more accepting world. I think through speaking, it shows that I'm the face of Listen Lucy, and I think it's the best way for me to spread the message and for me to get out there and tell people to their face that this is what's going on. This is an outlet that you have that's important and that is necessary for you to use if it's something that you need and are looking for. Why would I tell thousands of people that I have mental disorders? Like, you know, most of the people thought I was normal, but I had to go and put myself on blast. But I think that in doing that, I realized how helpful that was for me. It sparked an idea that there are other people out there that may be afraid to say what's going on in fear of being judged. It's very difficult for someone that hasn't had a struggle with a mental disorder to understand, and that's no fault of their own. I'm happy that they don't know. If I'm not willing to share what I went through, then who am I to ask somebody else to tell me, you know, what's going on in their life? I mean, I'm very comfortable in front of groups. I love to talk a lot, as most people know. I have a lot to say. I talk a little bit about accepting each other, but I focus more on accepting yourself, because I think that that was where I struggled the most, is that I was a nervous wreck that people were going to find out what was wrong with me. You know, nothing's wrong with me. I have these posters that people write on that says #IFeel, #YouAre, and they, at the end of the presentation, they write how they're feeling on one and then write a positive message to somebody at the end. So it's so cool, it's so powerful, and the boards are amazing. But a lot of times after I speak, someone will like post a photo of like them and their dad or something and say like #I feel so grateful for all the things that you've done for me. You are the biggest influence in my life, and then use the acceptance movement. I mean, is there anything cooler than that? Because I don't think so. It is amazing. The acceptance movement and #the acceptance movement, I wanted to create something. Well, I feel like if you put it out into the world and you keep pushing it on people, people will start doing it, because they just will. And I feel like I wanted Listen Lucy to become a movement of like positivity, acceptance, and in community. The idea of acceptance came up, so that's why the shirt says I am flawed. I obviously am 100% okay with talking about what I think my flaws are, and I'm hoping other people are too. Perfection's not real. We shouldn't be shooting for perfection. We should embrace who we are. We should embrace our flaws and things that are holding us back, because those are the things that make you stronger and make you, you know, a cooler, more interesting person too. Think how boring I would be if I didn't have my mental disorders. It's very difficult to be bullied when you're a confident person. For so long I wanted to change who I was, and I was so upset with how I was wired, and now it's like I totally embrace it. And if someone wants to judge me for having a mental disorder or you know, say something negative, like I feel bad for them. Like their life is, they're looking at life the wrong way, and I feel like I have the right perspective, and I would love for more young people to feel that way about themselves. Like, don't be down on yourself for things that you can't control. Just try to make them into a positive. For a long time I felt so insecure about that, but really in the end, like, look at it, without having that, without going through what I went through, like I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be pursuing Listen Lucy. Who knows what like my job would be. It's so exciting. It's so terrifying, honestly, but it's so exciting to be pursuing Listen Lucy as my career, making it into a company, and like wanting it to be successful, being able to come full circle from struggling where I was 8 years ago to where I am now is incredible to me. I feel very lucky that well, one, that anyone cares what I have to say, because I don't know why they do, but I'm so happy that they do. But I think that where I see Listen Lucy always is just being as simply stated that we're just trying to create a more accepting world. The goal is always going to be to promote accepting yourself and to give people an outlet where they can tell their stories, because giving a voice to people that feel voiceless is so important, and I want to make sure that that always stays at the core of what I'm trying to do.
Pay it forward card. Thank you. Pay it forward.
Share your story at Listen Lucy.